this time around in the Indian Oil Duran Cup, where Jose Molina has played two foreign centre backs. And now, moving forward here, he knows that the threat Imami East Bengal possess. He knows the attack that Imami East Bengal have, and he wants that stability. He wants that consistency. Although for Imami East Bengal, Atish, we were talking about Adad. He was brought on, and then instant impact, scores. And then he takes Jimmy's place in the starting lineup.
Yeah, Hamid Adad was very impressive against the Indian Air Force as well, running those channels, creating many opportunities. Initial indications that Basandolji Tamang might trouble Chungnonga tonight. The 21-year-old has obviously impressed Jose Molina in pre-season, during training, getting start after start now under his tutelage. Distant midfield, Danilo Thapa miscues and is stolen away by Miguel Pereira, the new signing. Edmund Laurendika takes the first shot. Hamid Adad at the follow-up. Vishal Kev does enough. An early sighter for the Red and Gold Brigade.
Yeah, beautiful there. Beautiful by Edmund. And one touch out of his feet, and Oscar Bruzon, he'll be happy with that positive impact, with that positive start by Imami East Bengal. The ball played into the right flank, and then there's no doubt he wants to shoot. His eyes are in towards goal, goes in towards the near post, and that's what happens when you shoot on target. You have chances with the second ball. If maybe Adad was there just in time, this could have been a different story.
Yeah, Edmund Laurendika, of course, very impressive in the I-League last season with Inter Kashi, a youth product from Bengaluru FC, had always had the talent. There was no doubt about that. It was just, when was his moment of reckoning going to come? Last year, he did showcase some of it, and that's why he's managed to get this move and change his jersey to the Imami East Bengal one. Still looking for his first goal this season, but was very impressive in his outing against the Indian Air Force. We saw that pace that he had to burn, and perhaps that was something Oscar Bruzon was missing last season around. Although, to be fair, they have plenty of great wingers. Meanwhile, it's Danilo Thapa on the charge, cleared away by CBA, who's tasting the Kolkata derby for the first time.
create an impact. They are playing their strongest 11. That's what Jose, you and I were talking about it, where he said that they don't expect the best. It's early on in the season, but he knows now that if it's a Kolkata derby, even if it's a friendly match, it's taken very, very seriously.
I wonder, Karan, that statement was actually very interesting, and I wanted to ask your opinion about it. As Bipin is intercepted and tackling, ball goes to Liston Colasso, 5 goals to his name already in the Indian Oil Duran Cup. Look at the pace for Liston Colasso. Taking on Mohammad Rakib. Rakib stands strong. Adad, you can hear the crowd absolutely deafening. The decibel levels such that it might be, the sound from Salt Lake Stadium might be reaching out till Siliguri. That's how loud it is. The question I wanted to ask you, Karan, now that we have a little bit of time, is the fact that Molina has come out and said, please don't expect fireworks from Mohun Bagan Supergiant. Is that, in a way, him already saying perhaps East Bengal is in a better shape right now, given the fact that Oscar Bruzon has been with this team throughout the Indian Oil Duran Cup? Is that already a small, slight excuse for an underperformance that might occur? I'm not saying it will, but might occur. Meanwhile, Miguel Ferreira, hold that thought, as Miguel Ferreira takes on Thapa, tries to slip it through to Edmund Lalrindika.
Yeah, maybe Atish, we get back to it where not an excuse, but sometimes you underplay certain situations, and here in the Kolkata derby, we know the pressure, not just from the fans, from the owners, from everyone around you. It's that environment that is created. And why Mohun Bagan Supergiant, why they've been so successful is not only because of the kind of players they've had, it's about how they've been able to handle pressure. And when Jose Molina was brought in, especially in the dressing room, the kind of personality he is, he knows how to bring the best out of each player. Antonio Habas was like that as well. So it's now for him to say that right before a match. It's kind of now for Imami East Bengal, maybe not get them too overconfident.
Edmund Lalrindika giving Abhi Mita a run for his money. Recently was called up into the Indian squad. Miguel Ferreira with a shot. At the follow-up, it was Haddad who wanted to glance the header into goal.
Yeah, and we see that now. You saw the fans, you saw the belief in their eyes, the Imami East Bengal fans, where they're seeing their players now keep the ball in and around the 18-yard box of Mohun Bagan Supergiant. Fans here in equal numbers for both fans, of course, but now only a victory, especially for Imami East Bengal, will get their average attendance. Now going forward in the season, the average attendance keeps getting better when they get victories.
2 Dimmies on the bench, one for Imami East Bengal, one for Mohun Bagan Supergiant. Those are the two who marked that terrific trio alongside Jamie McLaren, Jason Cummings and Jimmy Petratos. Of course, Greg Stewart has been released, but that's an interesting, if you want to draw an analogy between the two and showcase their journeys. So confident is Mohun Bagan Supergiant in the squad that they've not really signed many new players, Karan. Retained the core, retained the team that they have, challenged there by Anwar Ali. Whereas East Bengal, Imami East Bengal have been going through an overhaul this time too.
Yeah, they say when it ain't broke, don't fix it. And for Mohun Bagan Supergiant, they have got the results. They've been winning. They are in Asian football as well. We saw that a couple of days ago. The group that they're in and the depth that this squad has, especially Mohun Bagan Supergiant, any player that comes off the bench could be starting for any other club.
Absolutely. 3 of them are currently injured in the form of Manveer, Subhashish and Kian. Meanwhile, Akuya takes this free kick. It falls to Colasso. He'll try to keep it in play. No, he won't. Just accepts the throw in. Anirudh Thapa. Haddad was trying to pile on the pressure. Sahal Abdul Samad overhit that pass towards Passan.
Yeah, hurries it there. He saw that gap. He saw that opening there. Good thinking from Sahal. Although, should have controlled it here. Mohun Bagan Supergiant fans on one side, Imam East Bengal fans on the other side, well, they know that these kind of matches, the Kolkata derby especially, it's not just the atmosphere. It's the whole day where the city of Kolkata, it does come to a standstill.
Oh, absolute standstill. It's the only time, perhaps, throughout the year that the City of Joy comes to a break halt. Because even during the festivities of Durga Puja, you will see the fervor, you will see families coming together, you will see friends arm in arm. But then suddenly all those identities take the back seat. It's not about the family, it's not about friendship. It's about what color you represent, what jersey you wear, what food you eat on the table, how you celebrate, and what you say in those next two words after the prefix of joy. Is it joy Mohun Bagan or is it joy East Bengal?
Yeah, you spoke about food, Atish, the victory, the team that gets the victory. You know, we spoke about the two kinds of fish that become expensive here in the city of Kolkata, depending on who wins. It's prawns and a different kind of fish, although, and it's legacy where you are dictating prices in the market. It's legacy where the entire city or the entire state is watching this, either at the stadium or at home.
Meanwhile, across coming in, who would have thought that a football match, a derby, can behave like the stock market? And yet, that's the case here in Kolkata. Meanwhile, Pasang Dorje Tamang did manage to control it with his first touch, but lost the ball out to Chungunga, who might be playing his last match as the first choice left back. If you remember, Karan, last time around when the Indian Air Force was playing Imam East Bengal, we spoke about how that's the one slot where Imam East Bengal are having problems, but it's just emerged that Jay Gupta has signed from FC Goa, even though he couldn't have been registered in time for this match. Meanwhile, Naure Mahesh Singh doesn't get the captain's armband today because Saul Crespo's in the side, draws the foul in a dangerous area. Imam East Bengal win a free kick.
Yeah, clever there from Mahesh, twisting and turning, and he knows how to invite challenges here. A little clip in from behind. Among them needs to be careful because now this set piece is dangerous. Likes of Miguel, Mahesh, whoever takes it, Bipin, it could be anyone. They know how to target that 6-yard box, how to target the goalkeeper.
Anwar Ali taking the long stride, the long march towards the opposition goal. He looks good, Oscar Bruzon staring through the barrel. Meanwhile, Vishal Kher trying to marshal his defense. It's Miguel Ferreira with the free kick. It floats towards the 6-yard box, but there were no takers. It was in for a throw.
Yeah, interesting there. Interesting now. Oscar Bruzon knows that his side, his team, they need to do better, especially with these set pieces where the ball, it is being played in, although now the entire team has to track back and maintain shape.
This could spell trouble. Such promising signs by the Moroccan. Ahmed Ahadad, 2 goals in what has been his last 90 minutes on the pitch, given how he scored against Namdhari and then against the Indian Air Force before being substituted now. Might have to leave the pitch within the first 15 minutes. And that is a blow and a half. You could see the strapping on his thigh already, Karan. So there was a risk being taken by fielding him in. And it's a risk that's not reaped rewards at all.
Yeah, which means now the other Dimmy is being called upon very early on, very early on. Adad there of what it does look like a muscle injury. Good signs, although, that he's walking off. He's walking off, which means he knows this is an early stage. He does not want to make sure it gets worse.
Absolutely. So that's slightly clever, isn't it? Oscar Bruzon perhaps would have told him, why don't you try and push yourself as much as you can? But if you feel a little bit of a tweak, just get off the pitch. And perhaps that's what Ahmed Ahadad is doing. But then, as you mentioned, gives a chance for us to get a sighter, an early sighter, perhaps much earlier than expected, of Dimitrios Diamantakos, who 2 seasons ago set the league by storm, being one of those with the golden boot to his name when in Kerala Blasters colours. But last season, disappointed within the first 17 minutes or so. It is still 0-0. Vishal Kep has been tested once by Edmund Randika, but otherwise we haven't really seen the keepers being called into action.
Yeah, not as much. Not as much. It's still both these sides we can see they are playing safe into that attack. Although Adad, who is more of a runner, he likes to get into pockets of spaces. This man, he can shoot from anywhere. He is a goal scorer. A big miss. He's waiting for matches like these. That's where maybe you become more of a player that you can depend upon, and that's where you become a star if you score in matches like these, especially in the eyes of the fans.
Mohammad Rakib with a hoik. Anywhere will do, being the thought. Goes for a corner. Yes, absolutely. Having to miss out on your first Kolkata derby in this packed house where clearly you'd want to make an impression for your new club. One has to feel for Amit Ahadada and his misfortune. Meanwhile, Yasmin Kulaso with the corner. Cleared out only temporarily. Jamie McLaren trying to fight possession. It's gone out for a throw. McLaren, not the tallest, but sprightly and intelligent and pacey. And that finishing, gosh, isn't that deadly?
That's the quality, Atish. If you speak about McLaren, he's not the tallest, he's not the fastest, does not maybe have the best shot on him, but he is an absolute poacher. And we've spoken about this earlier. He might have 3 or 4 touches in the entire 90 minutes, but 2 of them could be goals. The skill that he possesses, he's always at the right place at the right time.
Kulaso, meanwhile, rather that's Abhi Nitai who's marauding from left back. CBA stands strong. Miguel Ferreira. South Crespo towards Munga. Bipin created the glue of Mumbai City FC to come to Imami East Bengal. Big move for Bipin Singh Tanajam. What a ball that is. First time by Kulaso. It was Jamie McLaren who fires in the cross, hoping someone like Sahal would make a run towards the near post, but not to be so.
Yeah, very little power with the ball that was played in. Jamie McLaren, he expected one of the runners to make their run in towards the near post, although there the ball was expected at the far post. An easy collection for the goalkeeper.
Ashish Rai versus Bipin. And it's Ashish Rai who stands firm right towards the end. Meanwhile, Bipin has slipped it through. It's a shot from a very acute angle by Naura Mahesh. Perhaps was looking for a cross. Chumnunga tackling, fighting, wanting the ball. Become a little happy in the middle of the park. The referee blows his whistle. It's foul to Mohun Bagan Super Giant.
The ball played in for Mahesh, who whips it in first time. Although, should have defended that better, that Dom Alred. Very easy. Not getting his leg in time for the block.
Edmund Lalundika once more, getting the ball from Diamantakos. And Diamantakos cut a frustrated figure as he made yet another run. And that's something we saw during last season as well. Karan, he made his quite clear towards his teammates whenever he didn't really get the ball. Only 4 goals last time around. Mark that was working, and he managed to edge the season prior to the yellow of Kerala.
Yeah, for Mohun Bagan Supergiant. Now you see their defense at the halfway mark, moving the ball around nice and quick. Although for Imami East Bengal, very, very compact, forcing them to play a ball played through. Intercepted well there, good defending. Although the referee, he spotted something. The fans not very happy there, Atish.
Yeah, much of the ire of the crowd. A little jostle there between Jamie McLaren and the defense. Forgetting for a while that this is football and not a wrestling match, perhaps. But this could be a battle that will be exciting as the season goes on as well. Perhaps a hint of offside too.
Yeah, that's the play. That's the play that we are talking about, Atish. That's what I was speaking about. McLaren there, he finds those spaces, he finds that gap. It's not the speed that he has, it's the thinking and it's the move that he makes. He's first to react. He finds that space, somehow reaches the ball, and if he does that in front of goal, he's always through. He makes space in those 1v1 situations.
The space maker, Jamie McLaren. Fascinating enough, name is such that it also reminds you of a race car, and that's how he probably plays his football too. Always on fifth gear, getting into the slipstream of opponents. I can come up with many more metaphors, but let's just focus on the game instead. Apuya. Ashish Rai. 25 minutes in, it has been Imami East Bengal that has created more chances, one has to say. Prab Sukhan Singh Gill has been quite quiet in goal. Yet, one can't say that there's been a clear-cut opportunity that would have you at the edge of your seat. Ashish Rai looking to change that towards the far post. Kulaso on the follow-up against Rakib. This is a battle that you'll see throughout this match as Rakib showcases his intelligence, wins the goal kick.
Interesting, very interesting there, where this time around close to 25 minutes have been played, and it does look like both these sides are very, very equal. It does not look like Mohun Bagan Supergiant have dominated in any way. Imam Bengal, in fact, they've kept the ball well. They have created better chances.
I agree with you, Karan, and that is great indication for those supporting the red and gold, because it hasn't really been the case in the past few seasons where you feel that Imami East Bengal has been going toe-to-toe. Meanwhile, Aldred has given the ball away in a dangerous position and desperately gives away the foul. Took unhappy with Vishal Kher, says that he was sold. And the peak is taken early, the goal's been scored, the referee calls playback. What's going on here? Saul Crespo with his hands in the air, protesting, wondering why Venkatesh doesn't get the goal. This is Derby Day drama right in front of you.
Well, once again, a quick freaking. That was the thinking, and then ball was put in the back of the net. Although now, very dangerous from the edge of the 18-yard box. Miguel Pereira, Saul Crespo. What's Tom Aldred doing there? Vishal Kher should have cleared that first time. It's the ball in for Tom Aldred, who wants to get past Mahesh Naram Singh for some reason. Just clear it away. There's no need of doing that.
And now Vishal Kher has to create a wall, ensure that it's in the right position, because the likes of Miguel Pereira and Saul Crespo have their sights on goal. Liston Colasso has pulled the short straw. Miguel Pereira sends it into the Salt Lake stands.
Well, look at him. He's thinking maybe he should have had a go. Saul Crespo. Miguel Pereira, he thought it was a rugby goal maybe there, Tish.
Those two vertical goal posts. I wonder if a footballer would ever be able to kick the ball quite accurately with that rugby ball, though, given the shape that it exists in. Vishal Keth might be able to, given the length that he achieves with his goal kicks. And that's why he's pushed his entire team all the way towards the halfway line. Punts it forward. It has been Imami East Bengal's match so far, or control, Karan. Would you disagree? Because it just seems like they're the ones piling on the pressure. And as I was trying to mention earlier, before that entire comedy of errors, that this is good indication for anyone that supports the Red and Gold Brigade, because prior to this, in previous encounters, previous matches over the last few years, since 2020, especially when they joined the ISL, it has been Mohun Bagan Super Giant that has been dominant.
Yeah, and every single year when we have the first Kolkata derby, we do expect Imami East Bengal to do better. But this time around, for the first time, Atish, we see them getting in behind Mohun Bagan Super Giants' defense, getting those free kicks, making and creating those attacks. And you get a sense of feeling when you've been watching these matches for season after season for a very long time, and maybe for the first time after a couple of seasons, Imami East Bengal, they are looking like the favourites.
Yep. One has to give credit to Oscar Bruzon, of course, coming in midway through the season. Knows Indian football so very well, having coached in Goa prior. Big challenge, hefty challenge. CB versus McLaren. You can see these mini battles everywhere now. The ones which are not only about their footballing skill, but those mental games and the few choice words that are being exchanged between one another.
A good interesting battle there between McLaren and CBA. The only reason is they are of the same stature, they are of the same height, you can say, and it will be interesting because it's not like McLaren there is a big number 9 or Sibia is a big centre back. It'll be interesting how two very similar players go up against each other.
Half an hour then, time for a little reprieve for the players who've been running around in these hot and humid conditions. Smile still etched on the faces of all these expectant fans. Suddenly it might just be wiped off through one moment. And that's what we are looking for. That first goal, that first big opportunity where we go, oh, has that been squandered? Has the match gone out of their hands? Unfortunately for Hamid Ahadad, his first experience of the Kolkata derby was punctured within the first 15 minutes, having had to pull out due to an injury. And Diamantakos would have thought that he would be the main front man for this season, has a chance to prove himself. On paper, Karan, over the past few years, the Imami East Bengal team has looked very strong with the likes of Clayton Silva coming in, or we remember Bright Enakubare and the talent that he possessed. Meanwhile, the Imami East Bengal fans, of course, sharing their deepest condolences towards Qasim Mohammad Rashid, who unfortunately lost his father and has had to go home in these tragic times. And of course, we as a team in the commentary box share our condolences as well. He's had to go to Palestine to handle those family matters. And of course, the dignitaries that have ensured that the 134th Indian Oil Durand Cup goes as smoothly as possible, also enjoying the action that's unfolding here at this world-class setup at the Salt Lake Stadium. What a break, formality is over. Time for the action to ensue once more. It's Liston Colasso. Chips the ball forward towards Jamie McLaren. Well watched by Anwar Ali. Fascinatingly enough, when it comes to the statistics for both these teams in terms of their goal scoring form in the group stages, 12 goals scored by both. The difference being, Imami East Bengal has conceded only 1 and Mohun Bagan Super Giant has conceded 2. But then, Karan, to be fair, Aldred and Alberto Rodriguez have only played one match, and that was against Diamond Harbour FC. So, do we take those statistics with a pinch of salt?
Yeah, but every player in this team, I mean, from Mohun Bagan Superjan, they've been playing together now for a couple of seasons. Here there was a shout for a foul, although Anil Thapa, he's been told to get up. Imami East Bengal once again.
Meanwhile, Diamantakos has slipped through, but the assistant referee has raised his flag. Diamantakos, shocked by the referee's decision. What would the replays tell us?
I would like to see the replay making those runs in behind the centre back, and yeah, as you can see, Miles offside. Good finish there though. It was quick to the ball and just toe pokes it past the goalkeeper.
Miles offside is an understatement, Karan. I'm quite shocked at Diamantakos' reaction. When he sees the replay, you could actually build a highway through the gap that was there between the defence and him. Meanwhile, as play resumes, Diamantakos is also willing to make those runs, as has been indicated. It is Diamantakos towards whom the ball was supposed to go by Edmund Alrandika. Anil Thapa loses the ball, and it's Diamantakos was Bipin to his left, chooses to go alone. There's a wall in the form of Tom Aldred in front of him.
Yeah, not easy when you're moving with that pace and when you're trying to go in towards goal to get a shot off. Pippin, who was in a better position, Diamantakos could have just passed the ball in towards his run.
CBA loses the ball and Istan Kulaso carries it into dangerous territory for Imami East Bengal. Sahal Abdul Samad hardly spoken his name about this match. It's Liston. Heavy challenge by Saul. The referee doesn't blow the whistle, and suddenly it's end to end with the ball being lost in midfield. Diamantakos, Bipin cleverly finds Edmund Alrandika, who has Miguel Ferreira for support. Edmund Alrandika ventures into the box. There is a challenge by Abhi Mitai, and yet again the referee keeps his whistle in his pocket. Lekchem Abhishek Singh, or as his jersey says so, trying to take on two, loses the ball out. Ooh, it's end-to-end action.
It is end-to-end action, a big shout for penalty, although Edmund himself, he did not contest the referee's decision. Oscar Bruzon, he wasn't happy, but look at that change in pace. A challenge in from behind. We'd like to see the replay here. He did get something on the ball there. And the referee was right there in a better position to play on.
It's a penalty this time though. No doubt about it. And Bipin Singh Tanajam, in his first Kolkata derby, has earned the Red and Gold Brigade a moment of reckoning.
Wow. Wow. Unbelievable scenes here at the Salt Lake Stadium. On one side, you saw Edmund, this change in pace, and then Bipin just controls the ball beautifully, turns. Unfortunate there. There was no intention of a foul, although it's in Imami East Bengal's favour. Ashish Rai with that challenge in from behind. Well, he was running, he was sprinting at him. As soon as he braked, a penalty now in favour of Imami East Bengal, and the man that has been called upon, Atish, it is Diamantakos.
And this is Vishal Ket's moment to shine. Diamantakos lives for these moments. For a few seconds, the Salt Lake Stadium remains still. It's Diamantakos versus Vishal Keth. It is Derby Day delight for Dimitrios Diamantakos. It is Derby Day delight for the Red and Gold Brigade as they draw first blood. Eruption at one end of the Salt Lake Stadium. Silence greets the other. 1-0.
Well, we know what this means to the fans, the Imami East Bengal fans. As soon as the ball went into the back of the net, well, the Imami East Bengal fans, they hit it up. And although now it is a responsibility of this team, how do they stay switched on? How do they not concede for Oscar Bruzon? He's only come in last season. He's turned things around. He's changed things around. Vishal Keth dives in the right direction. Although there was power, there was pace, there was precision in that penalty. 1-0 Imami East Bengal.
It wasn't the perfectly placed penalty though, Karan. For a moment that Diamantakos might have had his heart in his mouth. But as you mentioned, enough power to ensure that it is Imami East Bengal, a goal to the good. Ashish Rai with that challenge. Ashish Rai also now with the throw. Rakshakan Gill collects.
We saw that, Atish, where in the penalty, when we saw the replay, Vishal Keth, he dives too early. There was no footwork there. If he did take one step and then dive, maybe he would reach the ball. Dives right on the spot.
But one has to wonder, Karan, given the flow of the match till now, is this the justified scoreline anyway? Foul by Naurem Mahesh on Thapa, and as much of a foul by Thapa on Naurem Mahesh Singh, but it's been given Thapa's way. Is this the right scoreline given the flow of the game so far?
Yeah, I haven't seen any chance that Mohun Bagan Supergiant have created. It's been Imami East Bengal making those attacks, creating those chances.
Basan Gurjit Tamang, meanwhile, couldn't handle the strength that Anwar Ali was presenting towards him. It's been quite physical by the two centre-backs, one has to say. Kevin Sibi and Anwar Ali.
Well, the fans here, Atish, we can see now, they will be singing. They're loud and proud. They will sing for the entire 90 minutes if Imami East Bengal are able to maintain this lead. Although we know on the bench for Mohun Bagan Supergiant, they have Cummings, they have Petratos, they have those players that can be brought on.
No doubt about it. The names on that bench, as you mentioned at the start of the game itself, could be on the first team of any other side in Indian football. Not only the foreigners, but the Indians as well. So enough and more options for Jose Molina. Should he feel concerned as time goes on? I'm sure he's concerned already. Should he feel more concerned, rather, as time goes on? Because so far, it has been the Imami East Bengal show. So when given, it is Rakit who will take on the formalities. Of course, when it comes to the legacy that these two teams have in the Indian Oil Durand Cup itself, well, they are maximum champions, aren't they? 17-time champions for the Mariners, 16-time champions, the Red and Gold Brigade.
this match as well, especially Army East Bengal. In spite of all the stats, in spite of everything which has been in favor of Mohun Bagan Supergiant all these years, they have started this match with a little bit more hunger. Here, we see that hunger turn into aggression, and he needs to know that here he lunges into that challenge. Although he could say that he did get the ball, the referee believes a high stance-up challenge, dangerous play, and that's the reason the yellow card has been shown to him.
Yeah, that's the first yellow card the referee has shown throughout this match. It's been a highly physical battle and he's let it flow that way. He's allowed for that physicality, he's allowed for that hot-headedness. But eventually, when it got too much, he said, enough's enough. Meanwhile, Jose Molina would be saying enough is enough for the Mariners, because so far in these 44 minutes, they're yet to take a sighter at Prabhsukhan Singh Gill's goal. Not a single shot, let alone a shot on target. When you talk about Mohun Bagan Supergiant, that is a shocking statistic.
Yeah, very, very shocking, especially with the attack that Mohun Bagan Supergiant have. They've got Liston Colasso, we've not taken his name, Atish, which means he's not got much on the ball. You've got Tamang who's starting on the right, although up front it's been Jamie McLaren. He's been very, very quiet for the first 43 or 44 minutes that we have seen so far. Although now, the midfield, especially for this side, for Mohun Bagan Supergiant, they need to step up, the likes of Apuya, and alongside him, Hapa or Salabul Samad.
Ball given away by Alberto Rodriguez, and it is Imami East Bengal on the charge once more. Asking for a penalty was now Mahesh Singh. A challenge by Abhi Nitai. Not given.
Yeah, just protecting the ball there, Mahesh, and he knew that the challenge was coming in from behind. Although the referee and the linesman right there, they did believe that it wasn't enough. Very soft there from Mahesh.
What will be the changes in the second half as we approach half-time? Plenty to ponder for one end. The other, Oscar Bruzon's message would be, do the same, please. And you mentioned Liston Colasso has an interesting, rare record right now at the Indian Oil Golden Cup this season. We'll talk about it later because Bipin has the ball. He has Mahesh for support. Ashish Rai sprints back and covers his lines, gives it away for a throw. Liston Colasso, as 4 minutes have been added in this first half. Liston Colasso has scored in every match so far in the Indian Oil Golden Cup, but haven't really seen him make any touches as such in this match. Tungunga trying to cross it, wins a corner off Tamang.
Yeah, it's been interesting, Atish, this time around for Liston Colasso with that free kick, with the kind of pace and maturity that he's shown. 4 minutes have been added here in the first 45 minutes, although now Bipin, he knows, Imami East Bengal know that they need to see these 45 minutes where they go into half-time, maintaining the lead.
Avi Mehta, a new signing from Punjab FC, very impressive last season in the ISL in that very young squad from Punjab. Miguel Ferreira takes the corner. This was the center of the box. Headed away. Jamie McLaren couldn't really keep possession. Miguel Ferreira and Bipin somehow managing to keep the ball in play, but Miguel Ferreira is offside. Had to be. He gets a yellow card for time wasting. And now he's on the floor trying to indicate that he got whacked on the face. I don't think that happened. Did it happen, Karan? Did it really happen?
Whacked on the face by who? Was that with the yellow card?
Fascinating. I want to see that replay. I definitely wish to see that replay because the assistant referee would have also seen it, even though R. Venkatesh had moved away. Yeah, I don't really know what happened.
We don't either, and a bit too late there after the response from Miguel Pereira.
let's just call it gamesmanship, if you don't want to be too critical as to what happened right there. Gamesmanship. It's a tongue twister, but so was whatever transpired right now. Anyway, play on now. Just the last few minutes. This Kolkata derby. We've been informed that Apuya has also been awarded a yellow card, so someone's going to be targeted in the second half. There is no doubt, by the Imami East Bengal players, because Apuya has that in his locker. Tamang. Cross was overhit a little bit. Apuya can shoot from distance. We know he can! And was it too far away? First sighter for the Mariners.
Well, it was a strong strike there. Apuya gets his first touch out of his feet. Although, I'd like to see the replay here. The ball played into his feet there. Apuya does get it out. And then, very close. The goalkeeper, he does see it. Prabhsukhin Gill tries to get in towards the ball, in line with the ball. Too much movement there. Apuya, he knows that he did strike it very, very well. Just not on target.
Literally the top dance Supergiant have had on Imami East Bengal's goals. Foul given away. Miguel Ferreira, Oscar Bruza, and vice versa. Given the fact that both of them have won the league in Bangladesh together with Bashundhara Kings. What a first half. What a wonderful first half here at the Salt Lake Stadium in this quarterfinal of the 134th edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup. Only separated by that solitary goal by Dimitrios Diamantakos in the 38th minute. He had come on as a substitute following the injury to Hamid Ahadar in the 15th. But it has been the Red and Gold Brigade that have their squadrons in perfect order, and they've been marching on in this match, haven't they, Karan?
Yeah, still from the very first minute. It was Imami East Bengal early on when Haddad was there, and then he was brought off with that injury. Diamantakos did come in and get his name on the score sheet. Even Stevens in terms of ball possession, although with the shots you can see Imami East Bengal 5 shots and 2 on target in the first 45 minutes. We don't see that very often. Mohun Bagan Supergiant with no shots on target.
At half time it is Mohun Bagan Supergiant 0, Imami East Bengal 1. Let's start with the highlights. Plenty of excitement, plenty of murmur and fervor, hoping to see which team can pip the other in this traditional historic rivalry that has become one of the forefront images when we talk about Indian football. And right at the start was Edmund Radrika trying to beat Vishal Keth at the near post.
Yeah, chances being created by Imami East Bengal here from the left flank. Pippin plays a beautiful pass in from Mahesh, who just whips it in with power, and then Vishal Keth punches it out. Although here, this wasn't needed. All played in towards Tom Alred, who couldn't handle that pass, should have cleared it first time. Wants to get past Mahesh, and then a foul in from behind. Free kick given for that.
And then there was that free kick was taken early and scored, but then much to the ire of the East Bengal players, it was not given. But then the penalty was given and Diamantakos converted with aplomb.
He just gets it past Vishal Keth there. Although, look at that, he dives from where he's standing. As a goalkeeper, you want to take one step and then dive in the direction that you decide to, so you can cover more ground, you can cover more area. And it wasn't like it was in the bottom corner. There was power which saved Diamantakos. Then here, for this challenge, Saul Crespo, a yellow card was shown to him.
Yeah, yellow card to Saul Crespo. And right at the end, Apuya thought, why not try to find the bottom corner from distance. And this is the only shot the Mariners had on goal in this quarterfinal. So for the 23rd time in the Indian Oil Durand Cup, it is a Kolkata derby, and at Half time, it is Mohun Bagan, Supergiant 0. Imami is Bengal 1.
The wait is over. इस साल का सबसे बड़ा क्रिकेट टूर्नामेंट द एशिया कप आ रहा है सोनी लाइव और सोनी स्पोर्ट्स नेटवर्क पर। सबसे बड़े स्टार्स, सबसे बड़ी राइवलरीज और सबसे बड़े मैचेस।
एशिया का माहौल गरमाने वाला है।
एशिया कप 9 सितंबर से 28 सितंबर तक लाइव सोनी लाइव और सोनी स्पोर्ट्स नेटवर्क पर।
It's when you go, that's when people will realize how big a player he was. I feel sad that he's gone, the way he's gone. I think it could have been handled better, or there should have been more communication. If I had anything to do with it, I would have made him captain straight away after Australia.
Hello and welcome to the Cincinnati Open. Oh yes, and if you love your tennis, you're in exactly the right place. That is quite incredible from the world number one. Ben Shelton, the American march is on. That is beyond special. Absolutely ridiculous. Djokovic finishes the job. Yannick Sinner is the Cincinnati champion.
The wait is over. इस साल का सबसे बड़ा क्रिकेट टूर्नामेंट द एशिया कप आ रहा है सोनी लाइव और सोनी स्पोर्ट्स नेटवर्क पर। सबसे बड़े स्टार्स, सबसे बड़ी राइवलरीज और सबसे बड़े मैचेस।
एशिया का माहौल गरमाने वाला है।
एशिया कप 9 सितंबर से 28 सितंबर तक लाइव सोनी लाइव और सोनी स्पोर्ट्स नेटवर्क पर।
भारत के भूतपूर्व प्रधानमंत्री श्री राजीव गांधी जी की हत्या की गई है।
अभी तक किसी भी आदमी या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने सामने आके रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं ली।
वायरस के अंदर क्लॉथ फाइबर मिला, सुसाइड बॉम्ब।
हम इसे कैनेडी असैसिनेशन की तरह नहीं बनने देंगे।
सेना चल रही है वक्त से 2 कदम आगे। इनोवेटिव डिजाइन से बढ़ी है क्षमता, टेक्निकल सुप्रीमेसी से आई है निपुणता, मॉडर्नाइजेशन से फैला है कौशल का दायरा। आत्मनिर्भरता के बल पर सेना ने छुई है नई तकनीकी ऊंचाइयां। इन संशोधनों से प्रखर हुई है सर्विलेंस, मोबिलिटी, प्रोटेक्शन और फायर पावर, और अधिक सशक्त हुई है भारतीय सेना।
श्री राजीव गांधी जी की हत्या की गई है।
अभी तक किसी भी आदमी या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने सामने आके रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं ली।
वायरस के अंदर बहुत फाइबर मिला, सुसाइड बॉम्बर।
हम इसे कैनेडी असैसिनेशन की तरह नहीं बनने देंगे।
जीतने के लिए सेना चल रही है वक्त से 2 कदम आगे। इनोवेटिव डिजाइन से बढ़ी है क्षमता, टेक्निकल सुप्रीमेसी से आई है निपुणता, मॉडर्नाइजेशन से फैला है कौशल का दायरा। आत्मनिर्भरता के बल पर सेना ने छुई है नई तकनीकी ऊंचाइयां। इन संशोधनों से प्रखर हुई है सर्विलेंस, मोबिलिटी, प्रोटेक्शन और फायर पावर, और अधिक सशक्त हुई है भारतीय सेना।
भारत के भूतपूर्व प्रधानमंत्री श्री राजीव गांधी जी की हत्या की गई है।
अभी तक किसी भी आदमी या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने सामने आके रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं ली।
वायरस के अंदर बहुत फाइबर मिला, सुसाइड बॉम्बर।
हम इसे कैनेडी असैसिनेशन की तरह नहीं बनने देंगे।
The stage has been set. As the stars shine in the night sky, there are 22 of them that are even more bright in the Salt Lake Stadium. The blinding lights in the stadium, of course, flanked by those thousands that have come here to celebrate victory, celebrate with their team. As of right now, at halftime, it is only one half that has smiles on their faces. The other end, as you can see, the maroon and green stands silent so far. It is Dimitrios Diamantakos through a penalty that managed to make the difference as Jose Molina and his team try to turn the tide in this second half and make an impression in this Kolkata derby. You can see the change of mood. You can see the change in expression as Jose Molina plays his first card, sacrifices Pasang Doshi Tamang to bring in Cummings and hope that he is the one that manages to inspire the Mariners towards glory once more. In the commentary box, my name is Atish Chakral, and with me for the next 45 is Karan Sahani once more.
Atish, good start there by Imami East Bengal. Although now, as we can see, intent is clear by Jose Molina. He's brought in Cummings there, and that pairing up front, Cummings and McLaren, they have been lethal in the Indian Super League, and now in the Indian Lloyd Duran Cup as well. In the second 45 minutes, these two players, they've played these derbies, they have played these kind of matches before. It'll be interesting.
The divided city is divided by a goal too. It is Diamantakos that has proved to be the difference from the penalty spot when Bipin Singh Tanajam ventured through into the Mohun Bagan Super Giant box and was clipped, albeit softly, by Ashish Rai. In that first half, one has to say it was all about the red and gold brigade. This new look side with a new look approach sprung a surprise on the Mariners. Eventually, right at the end, Karan, was when Apuya managed to take a shot from distance. As we start the second half with the Mariners on the prowl, cleared away by CBA.
Yeah, towards the end of the first 45 minutes, we did see a few shots from Mohun Bagan Super Giant, although the worrying factor is they had none on target in the first half. And now Jose Molina, he wants to change that. He has brought in Cummings, he has McLaren up front, and these two players, they have played before, they have played and they've combined before. So it'll be interesting to see how the midfield now steps up their game in the second 45 minutes. Especially Apuya, who needs to keep calm, he needs to cool things down, because now every match he's getting booked, Atish.
Cummings, you can see he's trying to play in the hole just behind Jamie McLaren. So one would assume it means that Sahal Abdul Samad has been shifted to the right wing. And that's the kind of versatility Sahal Abdul Samad also provides the likes of Jose Molina. Remember no Manveer Singh in the squad today, otherwise he would have been your out-and-out right winger in the maroon and green. Sahal plays it towards Apuya, brilliant link-up play. Sahal Abdul Samad now can find Jason Cummings, goes alone. A deflection and a sigh of relief for Imami East Bengal.
Yeah, he does well there. Sahal does well there. Twists and turns, chops, and then wants to curl it with his left foot.
Meanwhile, quickly taken corner for Lasso. There is an intent to the Mariners. There is a pace to the Mariners now. Jose Molina has, of course, said something to them. Could he have passed it to Cummings? Would have been that been a better option?
Yeah, Cummings was asking for it. You saw that. He was asking for it with both hands. Although Sahal, he wanted to take his shot off. There was a big deflection. Although you always play the pass to the player who's in a better position.
A chance goes a begging. But good indications. It seems like that at halftime there was a wake-up call for the Mariners to showcase their might, and in the first 2-3 minutes they have charged with an intensity that you haven't seen. Oh, what a touch by Liston Colasso. The ball remains still under his feet. He finds Sahal once more, who finds himself in space, takes the shot, crunching challenge by Anwar Ali. R. Venkatesh doesn't think it's a foul, doesn't think it's a penalty. Suddenly the intensity in the second half is on another level. Miguel Ferreira. Thapa trying to marshal it towards the near post. It was Diamantakos who wanted to put the finishing touch. It was Aldred who got the telling touch. Bipin, Aldred once more, just shields it before it could go into the danger area.
It's been a shaky game for Tom Aldred in the first 45 minutes as well. He was trying to dribble past Mahesh Naram Singh, where he did give away a free kick, and here he's trying to clear it. He needs to do better with his clearances, with his passes, and more so with his decision making.
The expressions on the fans have changed, ladies and gentlemen, in these first 5 minutes of the second half. You could see hope and optimism etched on the faces of those supporting the Mariners, whereas there's a hint of worry, a little frown. That smile has turned into a straight line in the red and gold brigade corner. But the second half has started quite fiery, and Saul Crespo's already on a yellow card. He needs to be careful.
Yeah, needs to be very careful there. You know, he's going up in those aerial battles. He has that hand over Cummings. It is for his protection, but needs to be careful where he doesn't use too much of his elbow there.
Jason Cummings taking responsibility from the minute he's come on. Chips the ball. Prabsukan comes off his line. Danger averted.
Yeah, big cross hit. Prabsukan Gill does well there. Safe hands. Cummings gets that ball in a looping ball. Prabsukan Gill makes it look easy, just very easy.
Jason Cummings, of course, was the one who was in the pre-match presser, spoke about the importance of the derby, spoke about the importance of getting a result, irrespective of the stage of the season. Yes, it's pre-season, but this is the Kolkata derby after all. In the 397 editions prior to this, it's in the favor of Imami East Bengal 140 times. They're the ones who've won the black rights. Edmund Laldrandika with his dancing shoes, a clever little flick towards Miguel Ferreira. Now it's Naurem Mahesh Singh. It's Diamante Course! Deadly! Absolutely deadly! The Greek God answers the prayers of all those supporting Imami East Bengal. And now they do to the good in the Kolkata derby. The cheer, the sound, the roar at one end, and the other absolutely aghast.
Well. What is this? What is happening here at the Salt Lake Stadium? Tables have turned. Imami East Bengal, they've turned things around, and these are tears of joy, tears of relief. The yellow card will be shown. Diamantakos, he will take it. 2 goals. He was brought on the first from a penalty, and now a half turn, a big deflection, but it is him making those runs, gets that half yard away from the defender. Look at that. And then he gets his shot off. A big deflection by Alberto Rodriguez over the goalkeeper and Oscar Bruzon. He knows what this means to the club, to the legacy of Imami East Bengal if they get a victory today.
Yes, they have won matches in the Calcutta Football League against Mohun Bagan Super Giant, but there's a caveat to that. Most of the time, you're not allowed to play any foreigners in those local leagues. Yes, they have won a match at the group stage of the Indian All-Duran Cup 2 years ago against Mohun Bagan Super Giant, which is a larger stage. And there they managed to get the bragging rights. But when it comes to these big stages, over the last 3 years, in those last 10 matches, it's been the Mariners that have been sailing their way towards victory time and again. On this stage, on this day, when you're trying to showcase the might of a new look side against your biggest rivals, this is how you make an impression. Oscar Bruzon and his new charges are a force to be reckoned with. There is no doubt about it. Having finished with their best finish of just being 9th in the ISL so far since they've joined the league. This time, early indications with this performance is that he could truly climb up that game. Cross coming in, Abhi Mitai is the one to beat it, but Edmund Ladradika with his resilience is trying to draw the foul.
Yeah, at the base here, Imami East Bengal, they have picked it up, especially after scoring that second goal.
Yeah, it's Edmund Ladradika with the cross. Apuya defends well, finds Liston Colasso invisible in that first half. Scored in every game so far, 5 goals, 1 assist. So he has 6 goal contributions in the previous 3 matches that he's played. But this is a bigger fish. Apuya ventures into the box, tries to play in, or rather that was Ashish Rai, tries to play in. Jamie McLaren takes a swipe at Chununga. Foul given.
Well, it is a battle of the nerves now for Imam East Bengal. Look at that, Chununga protecting the ball very, very well. And a wild swing there in from behind. Ashish Rai.
I wonder, Karan, had it been on any other part of the pitch, would that have been a yellow card?
Had to be, Atish. It has to be a yellow card. It was, nowhere near the ball. Ashish Rai knew, and there was no apology. Interesting.
I guess the referee's interpretation, we're not speaking for him, but given that the fact that it was in the East Bengal defensive third, perhaps that's why he let it go. But Ashish Rai definitely is a lucky boy to have escaped a booking there. One out of frustration. It was clearly out of frustration. Anirudh Thapa now in a slightly withdrawn role if you compare it to the first half. Given the introduction of Cummings, Abhi Mitai slips it towards Jamie McLaren, who's trying to keep the ball in play. Shielded shoulder by shoulder with Sibi.
Well, this is the battle. This is the battle I was talking about, Atish, in the first 45 minutes, and now as well. 2 very similar players, 2 very players of similar build as well. And CBA, he knows he's a very, very good defender, very sensible with his positioning. And you see when ball's been played, aerial balls especially, he's not the tallest of defenders, but his timing in the lead, it's really impeccable.
Devin CBA, of course, a player who has experience in the youth setups of River Plate and Valencia in Argentina and Spain, as mentioned earlier. Even though his passport or the country that's shown here is Italy, he was born in Buenos Aires. And we know about that derby as well, the Bombanana derby. River Plate and Boca Juniors fouled by Rakip on Liston Colasso. So it's a free kick in an interesting position for the Mariners. Liston Colasso himself will take it. No Jason Cummings this time. Looking for a second assist of the season of this tournament. Chips it into the 6-yard box with not too much pace. Rakshak Singh Gill with a mistake and on the follow-up, it's cleared off the line. Oh, they say game so close. CBA once more with the rescue act.
Yeah, ball played perfectly in and defended well by Anwar there. Rakshak Gill. He needs to do better. If you're a goalkeeper, you're going in for that aerial battle. You need to go and make contact. You need to go and punch it out. Here, Cummings goes unmarked. Maybe his positioning a little too far away from the near post. It's hard to get the ball in, angle that in towards goal. Just tries to flick it there. Although still, you see that. Very hard from that angle where you're so far ahead from the near post to get it on target.
Don't forget that this is going to be a true test of the discipline of Imami East Bengal as well. Yes, you can score the goals, but can your defense stand firm against such a power-packed lineup? Against a lineup that has dominated Indian football in the past few seasons. The domestic double, prior to that, an ISL Shield and an ISL Cup. So in the last 3 years, they won 4 trophies, or the 4 major trophies of Indian football. Rakib, meanwhile, trying to shield Vincent Colasso from getting to the ball. How do you play your cards now, Karan? How do you play your cards if you're Oscar Bruzon? How do you play your cards if you're Jose Molina?
Well, it's interesting here now, especially for Imami East Bengal. They're 30 minutes away from regulation time, where it is a 2-goal cushion, which is a big advantage so far. And now, this formation is working for Oscar Bruzon. You wouldn't want to change much. Although, now for Mohun Bagan Supergiant, for Jose Molina, he needs to inject more pace in this attack. Maybe get the other Demi on as well.
I guess the biggest cause for concern for Oscar Bruzon is 2 very key players, or 3 very key players in his lineup. 2 of them I would wish to highlight are on a yellow card. And the 2 that need to be highlighted are Saul Crespo and Miguel Ferreira. The reason being that they are the ones in midfield. Dimitrios Diamantakos is an attacker, so you won't expect him to lunge into challenges as much. But Saul Crespo and Ferreira need to be very careful not to get that second booking. Bipin puts it out for a throw as he watches and sticks to Ashish Rai. They pass the hour mark now. And so far, Imami East Bengal have shown their might. Interestingly so, rarely so, if we talk about the recent outings in the Kolkata derby.
Yeah, 3-2 victory there, Tish, in the recent Kolkata derby, and carrying that forward. But now, of course, not the same players playing here for Imami East Bengal and for Mohun Bagan Supergiant.
Sahal Abdul Samad slips into the box once more. He's getting into very interesting positions, is Sahal Abdul Samad, from that right wing.
Yeah, ball played in, although Anwar, perfectly timed challenge there on the ball. And CBA, you saw that he's very happy with that challenge. When you connect so sweetly with the ball, it's always the trait for defenders.
The connection was the opposite of sweet. First by Cummings and then by Abhinitay. As bitter as they could get. There was only one for Imami counted with the referee. Blows the whistle. Fouled by Diamantakos on Thapa apparently.
And this is a set piece here for Mohun Bagan Supergiant. Maybe a little too central for them. And it's hard in these kind of set pieces to get something out of a direct free kick. Maybe Abuya, as expected.
Yeah, Abuya did chip it into the box, but it was CBA with the header. Nervy moments are in the way for Mohun Bagan Supergiant, there is no doubt. They need that one goal. Could Liston Colasso provide that inspiration to get them going? Rakib has been so watchful and so impressive against the number 7 today. One more corner. The third for Mohun Bagan Supergiant in this match. And it is Liston Colasso who will take it. This time, a corner towards Prabsukan's goal. Nearer towards Prabsukan's goal. Get cleared away. They have enough numbers shielding to the red and gold brigade. Sahal taking a turn. Sahal with the cross. Here his lines.
Interesting. Once again, Imami East Bengal now soaking in the pressure. Everything that Mohun Bagan Supergiant, they're committing numbers up front. especially Atish down that right flank where crosses are coming in from where Sahal is making his runs from. Now for Imami East Bengal, it's not just about time wasting because there's over 25 minutes in regulation time. It's also about keeping the ball.
Yeah, Imami East Bengal, of course, please remember 2-0 up, but it is a match of 90 minutes. There is no extra time. It goes straight to penalties should the Mariners mount a comeback. Abhinita loses the ball. Miguel Ferreira with a cross. He's unhappy with that effort himself.
Interesting now from Imami East Bengal. Once every single time in those counter-attacks, now they are possessing, they are posing as a threat. Now, Jimmy McLaren and Cummings, they have been very flat so far. And the kind of football that Mohun Bagan Super Giant are playing, where they are not the kind of strikers where you just ping the ball in towards them. They want to make runs in space. They like to come short. They like to play with each other. And now Mohun Bagan Super Giant, they need to play accordingly.
Every time I look at the pitch though right now, Karan, I can only see more Imami East Bengal players. I can't see as many Mohun Bagan Super Giant players. Such is the discipline. Look at the way they've packed the centre. Look at the way those 5 or 6 players are there in the centre so that there is no space for the Mariners. Listen, Colasso with a bit of skill. Thapa chips it towards the on-rushing McLaren, and this is the only way they're getting through towards Jamie McLaren. But these are hopeful balls, and that's good indications for these fans of Imami East Bengal.
And it's also the angles that the midfield is creating. Now for Imami East Bengal, when Jamie McLaren, he's making those runs, it's away from goal. Even if he gets the ball down, he receives it, his back is facing the goal. It's hard for a striker now to turn you around or do something from there. And Anwar Ali just perfectly directing the likes of Cummings or directing the likes of McLaren to make those runs away from the 6-yard box, away from the goal as well.
So I guess the question then that needs to be asked is, Liston Colasso finds himself in space. Found himself in space again, Mohammad Rakib. So I guess the question that needs to be asked right now then, Karan, is that have Imami East Bengal been so impressive, or have the Mariners underwhelmed so far?
Yeah, he's taking no credit away from Imami East Bengal. They have looked like a different side, look like a side that are playing with confidence, that are playing the kind of football that they want to play. They are dictating the play. They are not being dictated. And credit to the midfield, especially when the likes of Miguel, you've got Saul Crespo, and the likes of Mahesh coming in, or Edmund in the first 45 minutes, Pippin, playing as one unit. Here, Miguel Pereira, he needs to be careful. Like earlier he said that he is on a yellow card. Saul Crespo is on a yellow card. And if he does these kind of challenges going forward, it could be a problem now.
Oh, no doubt about it. I was worried for Miguel Ferreira for a minute there. Because it was innocuous on Anirudh Thapa. Meanwhile, Colasso goes straight for goal. It crashes into the crossbar. A sighter by Colasso, taking Prabsukan Gill by surprise as well.
Well, what are those feelings that listen, Colasso?
Thapa! There's your glimmer of hope. There's that moment that kickstarts the emotions. There's that moment of joy. And it's Anirudh Thapa who sailed the Mariners towards the island of reprieve.
Perfect there for Anirudh Thapa. There is that hope now to get that equalizer. Shot ball played in for Anirudh Thapa, whose side was only goal, was only at goal, although was there a touch? Maybe not. It goes past defenders. It just goes past with ease. And Mohun Bagan Supergiant, just like that, they've got hope and they've got a goal.
Genuinely out of nowhere, Karan. Genuinely out of nowhere. Listen, Colasso with that hopeful free kick crashes into the crossbar, goes in for a corner. Harper from 30 yards out. Wow. Such is football, isn't it? For the full 66 minutes till then, it was all Imami East Bengal in control. And then suddenly one moment has changed everything. And Jose Molina is bringing in the changes. You can see Deepak Tangri there. Ready. So is Petratos. And so is Dipendu Biswas. So wholesale changes. Given that it's pre-season, Tom Aldred is just playing his second match. Deepak Tangri will come in. Another defender, and Petratos gets the captain's armband too.
Yeah, three big changes, and now this man, we know what a difference maker he can be. When he gets the ball, when he gets set pieces, he can be a troublemaker. He can be a goal scorer, and he has been.
Rakib's has been given a yellow card for time wasting, and fascinatingly enough, the third player that has been substituted is the one that has recently had the telling touch. It is Anirudh Thapa that has been called back onto the bench as Miguel Ferreira seems to be in a heap of trouble. There you go, those are the substitutions. Deepak Tangri coming in. Probably will be in midfield because Dipendu Biswas has also been introduced and Tom Aldred has gone out, and so has Sahil Abdul Samad for Dimi Petratos. Rakib takes the throw. Colasso. Petratos couldn't keep possession, but Apuya shifts it towards the right. Jason Cummings is now on the right flank. Combines with Ashish Rai expertly, and Ashish Rai continues his run. Anwar Ali at the near post. Bipin, anywhere will do.
Well, would have liked to control it there. Now staying compact, Imami East Bengal. Look at that. One bank of four, and then five midfielders, and then Diamantikos, lone man up front. Miguel has been joining him in attack, although now they have been able to keep Miguel quiet.
Ashish. It was a cross towards the center of goal by Deepak Tangri. No takers. Much to the disappointment of Jose Molina. Ashish Rai once more. The marauding right back almost found the top corner.
Ashish Rai there. Ashish Rai, the kind of chances that Mohun Bagan Supergiant are getting, like this one with his left foot. Fingertip save there by Prabhsukhan Gill. Gets it over the crossbar.
Sixes and sevens, and almost finding the back of the net. Appeals for handball not given. Imami East Bengal are crumbling under the pressure.
Yeah, it does look like that. They're not being able to handle
Colasso. I'm sorry, Karan, I had to cut you off because they had another shot. They're just taking these chances so quickly because the momentum is with Mohun Bagan Supergiant and they just don't want to break it.
They're looking very, very dangerous, Mohun Bagan Supergiant. And now, Prabhsukhan Gill knows he has to slow things down. Petratos, another man who has been brought in, an attacking substitution, where we know Tom Aldred, he has been brought off. committing men, all men up front. Dipendu, who's come in for Thapa as well. Fresh legs for Jose Molina.
There is no doubt that this match is on tenterhooks at this point. There is no doubt that the face of the match has changed after the Thapa goal. Until then, yes, there were moments where Mohun Bagan Supergiant would try to pile on the pressure, but Imam East Bengal looked solid, looked compact, looked confident. Suddenly, post that goal, it's been a very different ball game altogether. The formation for Jose Molina has changed as well. He's gotten his frontline attackers. He's gotten that terrific trio of Petratos, McLaren and Cummings at his disposal. Heavy touch by Pippin, another corner. There you go, another indication of how much pressure is being piled on.
Another corner, this time from the other side now. Petratos, set piece specialist. He knows how to whip those in.
He whips it in towards the near post. It is Pippin with the clearance. And Edmund Lal Rindika will accept it with open arms.
He just flicks it over there, Edmund, and then uses his speed to get there first in towards the ball. Here, look at that. Just gets past the Puya, who needs to be careful because he is on a yellow card there. And a lead challenge. Saul Crespo was asking for a card. He was asking not just for a foul. 75 minutes where this is another drinks break, although it's a chance now for Oscar Bruzon to put some sense in his team or put some confidence in his team, because they have that one goal cushion even now.
Yeah, this drinks break does offer the chance for the head coaches to perhaps send in a few messages tactically, emotionally, mentally, physically, ask his players how they're feeling. You can already sense the angst though in the red and gold brigade camp. These are anxious moments, there is no doubt, because Mohun Bagan Supergiant have looked like a different beast ever since this moment.
Yeah, that's what a goal can do. Jose Molina, we saw him celebrate as well. We've not seen him celebrate like that after winning the Indian Super League as well. Yeah, Aniro Thapa just knows he directs it in towards goal. Prabsukangil was expecting something to come off, maybe a touch.
Fascinating finish by Aniro Thapa. They're eager to be on the pitch, our Mohun Bagan Supergiant. You can see it from the body language, how they have already spread out. Imam East Bengal taking their time, trying to tell one another we're there for each other. Let's not do anything foolish. Packed house here at the Salt Lake Stadium. Triple substitution is on the cards for Imami East Bengal as well. So Oscar Bruzon wants some fresh legs to close out the match. And rightly so, perhaps. We'll get you the substitutions as and when they happen. Right now he's thinking about them. Right now he hasn't completed them. Prabsukar punts it forward. Slight cheer by the crowd. Just hopeful more than anything else. Taking their time. Cummings gives the ball away. Miguel Ferreira now. Miguel Ferreira goes alone. Miguel Ferreira with some samba magic forces Vishal Kaif to the floor. A soft save, Diamantakos. How do they let Miguel Ferreira get so much space? CBA stands strong against McLaren as he has throughout the match. Lovely little bit of skill by Anwar Ali. Nutmegs Listen Colasso. Mahesh Pereira couldn't control it. Falls to the floor. And now Mohun Bagan Supergiant have Jason Cummings charging through. Petratos. Cross doesn't find his marker. Ashish Rai tested Prabsukan just prior to the drinks break with his shot from his left foot. Petratos taps the ball around with his left foot towards Listen Colasso. Good keeping by Prabsukan.
Top class action there. End-to-end action here. We saw Miguel Pereira on one end, maybe could not latch onto that pass from Mahesh, and then Jason Cummings, Petratos trying to do something at the other end. It's almost like there's no midfield. The changes now for Oscar Bruzon. 3 changes as we can see.
Yes, absolutely. Bipin goes out and David is coming in. Never really seen David play on the wings, Karan, so it will be fascinating to see how David Marr does there. Shovik Chakravarti adds a little more bite to midfield. He takes the place of Naurem Mahesh Singh. And PB Vishnu comes in place of Edmund Lal Randika. That's a bit more like for like. David, with his first few touches, tries to chip the ball towards Diamantakos. Seems like David is going to take up the position on the right flank, which is very interesting given his eye for goal.
Yeah, now here Miguel Pereira nudge in from behind. It was Deepak Dangri with that foul, and now he will take his time with it. So look at that. It go in, rose high. Free kick.
He's struggling. Is Miguel Pereira. One wonders whether he's run out of legs now, because a few minutes ago as well he collapsed on the floor when he was trying to control the ball, taking his time to get back up as well. Both sides now have something to shout about. Both sides are involved. The decibel level here at the Salt Lake Stadium ever increasing. Saul Crespo would look to whip it in towards that far post. He does so. Vishnu, he's just come on. Not the kind of impact you'd desire from the sub.
A little too hasty with that shot there. He did control it well and then just gets it over the crossbar.
Alberto Rodriguez. Ashish Rai. Shovik does his job. Deepak Dangri miscontrolled. Saul Crespo with quick feet. Couldn't find Vishnu though. That communication between Vishnu and Saul Crespo is missing. Not this time though. Saul finds David, who just holds the ball up for a second, waiting for options. No real urgency in Imami East Bengal's play now.
Yeah, no urgency there. Just moving the ball from right to left, from left to right. They're using the space that's created on the wing.
And David finds space though. That first touch, he knows he could have done better. Gave an opportunity to Abhimitai. Rodriguez taking a massive risk. Finds the Bindu Biswas. Cummings, acres of space for him. Goes past David's challenge. Cummings goes alone. Ashish Rai. One more time from outside the box. Then gives away the foul.
Imami East Bengal looking to slow things down. The The challenge in from behind on Saul Crespo, who's not clearing the ball very easy. He's waiting for the right moment, inviting tackles like these, challenges in from behind, and then taking time with it.
I spent enough time in Indian football now, Saul Crespo. David, this time a better touch as he controls the ball. Again, not a winger, remember. So, positions like these, probably not his cup of tea. Miguel Ferreira, has he beaten the offside trap? Seems so. But couldn't beat the on-rushing defenders. Crossfield ball towards Jason Cummings. Chungnunga in front of him. Deflection corner.
Chungnunga just doing enough there, showing Cummings so that he takes his ball in towards his right foot. Just try to whip it in and block there. Although, threat still in and around Imami East Bengal's box. It's a corner now.
Yeah, Jimmy Pechard was going to take that corner as we saw tighter. The real end coming in a bit. It's not what Herrera with the scoring. Abhinita is speculative, cleared away. So the intentions are clear with this substitution. Ashish Rai, the right back, is going to be sacrificed for another attacker. One who has scored a goal prior to this match as well. In the first group game for Mohun Bagan Supergiant against Mohammedan Sporting. A great finish from the left flank though. Or when he was leading the line rather, was Sohail Ahmed Bhatt. Messy, but possession with the Mariners. Petratos, snapshot. It's Chungnunga with the block. Shovik trying to be acrobatic, gives possession away. It's cleared now.
Yeah, it has been cleared now. Although, the fans here reached 58,676 in attendance in this Kolkata derby. And it's good to see now that all the fans have stayed. Now it's still Imami East Bengal, close to 4 minutes in regulation time. And after a very, very long time, we could see a victory in the Kolkata derby when we speak about the Indian Oil Durand Cup or the Indian Super League in tournaments like these.
Oh, absolutely. The last time at such a stage was in 2023. Of course, they won one encounter in the Super Cup as well over the years. But this is surely... somehow, this feels different. If they manage to get the result here, Karan, this would feel different.
Yeah, it does for the fans. Although it is not over yet. And they know that. And Jose Molina knows that. He's brought in Sohail Ahmed Bhatt, who has scored a goal. Like you said, he had been given a start in the first match as well.
Diamantakos has Vishnu by his side. Diamantakos once more. Offside PV Vishnu.
They're showing signs of disbelief there. PV Vishnu was offside. But they need him to track back. They need him to help in defense as well. Yeah, maybe marginally offside. Linesman in a better position to judge that.
He has given them a glimmer of hope as Anirudh Thapa was struggling with injuries in the previous season. Didn't get much game time. Eventually, because that midfield was solidified with Deepak Tangri in there, especially as the season went on. But then, whatever opportunities he got, he impressed. And now he's laid down the marker.
Yeah, this time around, very close to the goalkeeper. makes it easy for Prabhsuk and Gill. Knows he has to go long, not this long now. Goalkeeper to goalkeeper.
Karan, if Prabhsukan had his way, he would kick it out of the stadium. That's the idea as of right now, that Imami East Bengal would accept with open arms. McLaren once more trying to do what McLaren does. CBA read the trajectory of that pass. Vishnu. Sohail Ahmed Bhatt in an unfamiliar position, remember. Isn't a defender. Gives away a foul.
They're tracking back and maybe Vishnu just doing enough twisting and then turning and then inviting that turning from behind. Because when you're in a hurry, you don't want to be too hasty, and Sohail Ahmed Bhatt now just doing that, giving East Bengal some more time now.
Nice interplay as Diamantakos tries to slip it to PV Vishnu. Sliding challenge by Defendu. We're into the last minute of regulation time. Remember, it's 90 in additional time and then straight to penalties should the Mariners equalize. Golasso, 6 minutes. Wow. 6 minutes are enough and more for Mohun Bagan Supergiant to break East Bengal hearts. Petratos. Sohail Ahmed Bhatt. Rodriguez towards Abhinaitai. So many players committed by the Mariners. In attack, foul not given. Miguel Ferreira skips past one challenge, skips past two, skips past three, and there's acres of space for Vishnu to run into. Vishnu just needs to bide his time and wins the corner.
Well, he does buy time. He does buy time. It's that pace that Vishnu has, and he's brought that quality with him where he knows when he needs to speed up play, and now, if he had to, he could have put that ball in, but he knew that he had time on his hand, and then he wins that corner for Imami East Bengal. Look at that, expressionless on Bagan Supergiant fans, or I would say in disbelief.
Signs of worry, perhaps. It's not as dominant as it used to be. Another throw in, you know what the Imami East Bengal players are going to do now. Run down the clock, getting into close quarters. Those faces tell you a story. Would want to hurry it up. He tries to, almost sells it. A hospital pass towards Alberto Rodriguez. Shovik. Diamantakos. Nail in the coffin now. Save by Vishal Keth. Otherwise, that would have been curtains. And Saul Crespo will take his time to get up. Deepak Tangri, perhaps, and Petratos, perhaps, showcasing the emotions of a derby, the frustrations of a derby. Is it truly one if we don't have some blood boiling?
And that's what Imami East Bengal they want now. Mohun Bagan Supergiant that they need to be smart. They need to be careful now that they're only wasting even more time. It's a free kick here for the side that's winning. 6 minutes have been added. The yellow card now has been shown. Looks like Petratos and Chudunga. And here, Saul Crespo. So good on the ball, and then Deepak Kangri first stuns him and then challenges him from behind. Just what he wanted, just what Saul Crespo wanted.
CBA also getting in on the action. Yellow card for Chungunga, he'll take that. Yellow card for Petratos, he wouldn't want that. Launch forward. McLaren, we have hardly taken his name in this match. But we have taken Diamantakos' name. Dipendu towards Vishal Keth, just in time. 1 minute and a few left. It is Listen Colasso. Throw in. Again, one more throw. Last chance, Saloon perhaps. McLaren, Apuya, blocked.
Well, it's the pressure that Imam East Bengal are feeling. They are still creating chances here, Mohun Bagan Supergiant.
Cross coming in. One more corner. One more moment. Numbers committed at both ends. Is Vishal Keth also going to come in? Doesn't seem like it. Petratos loops it. And it goes out for a goal kick. That should be it. That should be it. One side of Kolkata hopeful, waiting for that final whistle. Anwar Ali doing his duties. Exaltation, cheer, joy at one end. You wouldn't want to be in the other camp. The streets of Kolkata have been painted red and gold tonight. From the Howrah Bridge to the Victoria Memorial. From the Ghats to the lanes of Chaurangi. In this quarterfinal of the 134th edition of the Indian Oil Durand Cup, it is this new look, Imam East Bengal, that have earned the bragging rights, that have called themselves victorious in the Kolkata derby, courtesy of praise by Dimitrios Diamantakos. The final score at full time, Imam East Bengal 2, Mohun Bagan Supergiant 1. Karan Sahani, is this a sign of things to come?